floodwater.
We're hoping to come back on Sunday, but I think that it's going to depend when the power gets turned back on, which I think is really going to be dependent upon these waters receding.
And with 2 major hurricanes this month, the Federal Emergency Management Agency says it's running out of funds. Its administrator, Deanne Criswell, making a plea to Congress.
Criswell says FEMA has enough money to support the immediate needs for everyone impacted by Helene and Milton, but that the eventual need for supplemental funding from Congress is, quote, just a matter of when. Compounding the issue, staffing shortages. Sources tell ABC News during the storms, only 9% of FEMA's personnel were available to respond to any other disaster that could occur. And now the Small Business Administration is echoing the calls for more funding, saying new disaster loans are in jeopardy without Congress's help.
ABC's Christian Cordero on Capitol Hill. Boeing, which is dealing with a month-long workers' strike, will now be making some major job cuts.
In a letter to Boeing employees, CEO Kelly Ortberg announced the company will be reducing its workforce by about 10%. That's 17,000 jobs that will be going away. As a result, it's canceling its next cycle of furloughs, but instead will move to layoffs. Ortberg saying the Boeing 777X, the next version of the popular plane, will be delayed. The 767 freighter program will end, and the company is expecting substantial new losses in its defense, space, and security unit. Alex Stone, ABC News.
Former President Trump campaigning in Aurora, Colorado, making what the mayor called greatly exaggerated claims about Venezuelan gangs taking over a local apartment complex. Vice President Kamala Harris releasing her medical records today. Her doctor says she's in excellent health. You're listening to ABC News.
Members, it's here. Milo's Rewards Week deals for members only are up for grabs. Get up to 40% off store-wide on hundreds of items, including select bath products. Plus, save $10 on 1-gallon cans and $50 on 5-gallon pails of Valspar Signature paint. So what are you waiting for? Join for free today and get instant access to hundreds of Milo's Rewards Week deals. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offer valid 10/10 through 10/16. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Subject to change.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Sounds like you heard about our Mobile One giveaway. Right now, you can get a free Red Bull racing sign when you buy 5 quarts of Mobile One motor oil. And you can enter to win a signed undershirt from F1 champion Max Verstappen. Find Mobile One at any one of our 6,300 stores or on AutoZone.com. Ends November 18th. No purchase necessary for giveaway.
Get in zone, AutoZone.
See AutoZone.com for details.
Just over 3 weeks to go until Election Day. The Harris game planned in the final stretch. ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
Part of their strategy is to get Harris out in front of a range of audiences. She's been doing fewer events than Trump. I think that's been interesting, but a lot of different kinds of events. In Arizona, she was doing a town hall, taking questions from Latino voters. Then the next day, doing events specifically focused on Republicans. Look, they need something to break loose. One thing that's very interesting, too, they know this will be a slog, so they're focused on their ground game, their get out the vote operation.
More bombings in the Middle East. Israeli strikes hit central Beirut, destroying a building, killing more than 20 people. ABC's James Longman is at the bombing site in Beirut.
This was an apartment building. It's now been entirely reduced to a pile of rubble. I mean, the entire area has been decimated. We saw paramedics removing a body from the rubble, debris, smashed up cars, a mattress there on the side of the road. Now, there was another building also hit across the 2 sites. Some 22 people have been killed, more than 100 injured. Now, the target, according to local reports, was a senior Hezbollah official, but no one is confirming that. And the thing about these assassination attempts is they don't come with any warning.
In California, the number of dairy workers who've been diagnosed with bird flu has now grown to at least 6. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says all 6 people worked in the state's agricultural Central Valley and were in contact with infected dairy cattle. Officials say that the risk to the general public remains low. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Meet Brian. He just got $5,000, and it was pretty easy. I'll tell you how in 10 seconds. Brian needed cash help. After being rejected by banks, he tried 27cash.com. Told them how much he needed, even let them know he had bad credit. In minutes, 27cash.com found a lender who deposited $5,000 into his bank account the very next day. If you need cash help, even if you have bad credit, go to 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
KYNT, Yankton, FM 1021 and AM 1450.
You are listening to the Coach's Corner Show on KYNT, Yankton's home team. Now, let's get you caught up on Yankton High School athletics with KYNT Sports Director and the voice of the Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
All right, good morning. This is the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig in studio. Big victory for the Bucks last night at Dana J. Dykehouse Stadium in Brookings. And Yankton now 5-2 on the season. And up there at number one, tied for number one in the Class 11 AA standings. So a huge victory for the 11 AA standings, the ESD conference standings, and it's just nice to beat Brookings. So that's always an extra bonus there as well. A dominant performance from your Yankton Bucks. We'll talk to the coaches about that here this morning. They are right now all talking and having some Pizza Ranch pizza. Thanks to Pizza Ranch for their support. And the Coach's Corner show is powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with a vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. We'll start with Coach Brady Booth, Coach Justin Olson here around the corner. This is the Coach's Corner. Good morning.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here I think is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit FNBO.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small. Embracing the unexpected. Savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this. They actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
All right, welcome back here to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's continue talking Yankton Bucks football. Being joined in studio, Bucks football coaches Brady Muth and Justin Olson. Coaches, good morning.
Good morning, Bryce.
Good morning, Bryce.
How we doing? How we doing, guys?
Doing good, man.
Not too bad.
Big victory last night, obviously, and not just for 11 AA implications, but ESD implications as well as just a rival in Brookings. And nice to have a overall all sides of the ball performance.
Yeah, I thought. I mean, sorry. I thought it was it was a good night for us, not just for the things that happened on the football field in our game, but just around the state seating wise. I mean, there were some things that really bounced our way that helped us out, but the biggest thing is controlling your own destiny and taking care of business, when you need to. And our guys did that last night. It was a lot of fun. I told our guys when we got off the bus, that's the most fun I've had around the game of football in a while. And so it was an enjoyable evening.
And it was really a complete game. Offensively, the rushing attack was the main story. Obviously, there's only like 9 attempts at passing, but you didn't need to go to passing. The running game from start to finish was very successful.
Yeah, and that's, we had talked about that. We were going to take what they gave us and just be ready for their adjustments. And they kept 2 safeties out of the box the entire night. And so, I mean, you walk out and you see the middle of the field open and they're running at least a 2-high safety look. You have to be able to run the football there. And that's where Brookings has had a lot of success, is their front was able to stop people's run game and then force them into passing the ball where they're throwing into a lot of garbage. And so, I mean, that first series, us running the football the way we did was really big with just the way the game played out.
Yeah, they couldn't stop Evan Stirk, though. I'm pretty sure he was averaging like 28 yards per carry. The muscle last night, I'll tell you what. He is just so cool. You talk about it every week, and after a while, you're just like, come up with new things to talk about. But why? Because if you're going to keep performing like this, I'm going to keep talking about you like this. Just so fast with the ball. He gets to that second level very quickly, and then when he does, he can lower his shoulder and also cause some damage.
Yeah, I think sometimes you look at the roster and you see his height and weight, and you think, sure, people come to their own conclusions, but he's in our program. He's one of the strongest kids pound for pound, and so, I mean, he is a complete back. He's not a guy that, and we challenged him on that. That was one of the things. Ev wanted to score more touchdowns and stay on the field more, and we said you got to gain some weight and get stronger. That's just football is physics, and to his credit, he did. He came in, he packed some muscle onto his body, and is a little bit heavier, but is a much stronger, complete back right now, and it's just a lot of fun being able to have a guy like that you can give the ball to, and I mean, I think he had almost 20 carries in the first half. So I mean, he's doing his job, and he's doing exactly what he wants to do. He wants to stay on the field, and to his credit, he's doing it.
We were on record watch last night for a little while. I think you guys were talking about that when you're eating pizza.
Yeah.
Well, at least our guys were talking to you about that. But looking at Scott Nedved's record and being like, well, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Evan last night that was, I guess for us, that was really good was all of the. I mean, he had some runs that were longer, some 8-10 yard runs, but the ones that I guess we really appreciate the most are the 3 and 4 yard runs that are kind of tough sledding. That, I mean, if a hole is there and you hit it quick, you should be able to get a big gain, and that's the line doing its job. But for him to get tough yards is really, really important for us, and he did that last night.
Yeah, a lot of defensive guys played out of their mind last night, too. Coach Olson, Easton Feezer had himself a pretty good night.
Yeah, he was we knew what kind of talent he had, and we kind of been moving him around a little bit because he's very versatile, too. He's a very physical kid. He has some speed. He's good in the coverage game. And then, due to, an injury with Talon Kenny, we're like, hey, let's give him a shot at edge. And I tell you what, his first play out, he just bends right around there, does a dip and rip, and gets to the quarterback. And then, again, does it, two more times, causes a forced fumble, and he just looked like a natural out there. So that was great to see him have a great game at that for his confidence-wise. And that gave us a way to get him on the football field, which we want to get our best kids on the football field. And last night, he was definitely one of them.
You come to expect Eddie Amaro to have the kind of game that he did last night as well, 3 sacks. And I believe he had the fumble recovery. And then Peyton Eustace on the line, also believe credited with the sack.
Yeah, the deal like Edley, he is such a raw talent, and we've had the fortunate pleasure to work with him since he was young, and coming up through the system, there's just a couple things to make him to push him over that edge, to be like a really, really good football player. And every single coach, I believe, has talked to him about some of the techniques and stuff like that. And last night, he finally showed his discipline and how when he did that, he could just wreak havoc on a defense and help the linebackers with the run. And then when he knows it's a passing down, he's just unhinged and he can get to the quarterback. And for us going forward, we needed him to have a game like that because, they're going to keep on coming at him. And he's going to have to keep on making plays and help the linebackers and the rest of the defense make plays as well.
Out of the entire game, 2 big plays and then one that just it's just gonna happen every once in a while. The desperation, pass down or whatever, or the safety net pass. We were talking about that earlier, Coach Booth. But overall, the defense just stout in that entire game. And the secondary, that was going into the season. We were all talking defense and how that this team was probably going to hang their hat on defense. At least that was the initial thoughts. The secondary, you mentioned like one of the first shows, was a little young, a little inexperienced as a whole.
Yep.
But man, they have just grown together this season, and they are a solid unit back there. You have Cale Hazelhorst with another interception, Carson Ness. Bodie Thurman had some knockdowns. You just name the player, and they've all really stepped up.
Yeah, Coach Chevy has done a great job of just hammering technique. And again, same thing. Some of those guys just needed to just trust trust their hips, trust their feet, trust that back pedal that they're not gonna, that they just have to keep moving backward to come up and get a better angle going forward. And there was a little bit of that last night, but we found ourselves in some really great coverage. I already watched the film, and when we go to our heavy set and we're down a DB, covering with our linebackers and then everyone else. If we can do that going forward as well as we did last night, it's going to get pretty exciting. And those guys have worked their tails off. And like I said, their work's not done, and they're just going to keep on getting better and better. And I challenged them this week because I looked at the stats, especially coming back, when we got some a midseason stat report came out, and I'm like, ooh, not enough sacks, not enough turnovers, and they answered the bell. So I challenged them, this week with that. And, in the stat lines, you'll see what happened. We got the sacks, we got the interceptions, forced fumble, and recovery. So they're doing everything they can. And the funny thing about this, Bryce, is that they're not satisfied. They're a group that they're like, all right, let's continue to get better and continue to work. So they're dogs, and they dogged out last night. Really proud of the whole defense as a whole, but really super proud of the secondary for sure.
The edge rushers are kind of like the wide receivers of defense. They get a lot of credit. They're seen a lot. They make a lot of plays. But I want you to talk a little bit about your inside big guys, right, on the line, as well as your linebacking core. Kind of talk about both of them because another solid performance.
Yeah, with the front line, they protect linebackers so they can do their thing. And you have 2 big boys, with Frang and Beal. And Beal goes both ways, and he did a really good job of being conditioned. And the offense, as much as the offense ran, I was like, okay, well, but we got into a rotation. We have other guys in the wings waiting, and we're in a really good spot right now. You mentioned Peyton Eustace, he's helping up on there. Then we have guys like Austin Conway and of course like Lucas Cordell, and some other guys ready to roll in there too. And when you have the meat in there, and then we can go to a different package, go to a 5 front, bare front, and then roll back and just go to a regular 4 front and not really drop off. That's a fun thing to have, and they're athletic too. And it's fun to see them play football and just hold their ground and just chew up a couple gaps in guys so our linebackers can just play free and fast.
Yeah, and then Coach Muth, Easton Nelson, we mentioned, not called on to pass that much last night. It wasn't really needed. But it was able to tuck it and run. But overall, just kind of, and this is not a negative thing, just kind of managed the offense.
Yeah, and he did exactly what he needed to do. We told him going into the game. And some of it is, you can count guys, and you can count when they drop 7 or they drop 8, but you have to be able to feel that from the quarterback position. And that was one of the things we talked about with him this week was, you're going to have a lot of opportunities to tuck and run where we typically want you to find an answer because we call the pass play for a reason. We think we're going to be able to get the ball in a certain spot, so let's get the ball there. But this week, we told them you're going to have a bit of a clock, and it's going to have to be pretty quick. The ball's got to be on time, and it's got to come with some pace, or you got to tuck it and run. And I thought he did a really good job. There was a couple times where, we had talked about you got to be patient when you're playing this defense and not get talked into trying to make a big play. And I think we did, here or there a couple times. But for the most part, he did a real good job of doing what he needed to do and then keeping us in the right play. There was one throw late where he threw a jailbreak late, which was a read off of an RPO. And, typically you'd like to run the ball there. We were trying to chew clock, but we needed to throw that to convert. And so he did what he needed to do. And if you've got a guy like that, can start to master thing, and we've been talking about this, he's continuing to take ownership over the offense to where he's feeling that it's his now. When you got a guy that feels like it's his, then he can shape it the way he wants. And he's playing at a high level right now, so that's good for us.
I always laugh when the Bucks are chewing the clock because I look down and with this up-tempo offense, which ever since I've been here, it's been up-tempo, right?
Yeah.
Very rarely is there a huddle. I always like to imagine, I always tell Josh as a joke, I'm like, I imagine they're down there like, what do I do with my hands?
Yeah.
What do I do right now? I don't know. Because they're all looking at the play clock. Like, do we go now? Like, all right, let's go.
It's funny when we made that transition and we worked into, not just being a no-huddle team, but being a tempo team, getting guys trained not to, after the play, turn around and go backwards.
Yeah.
Because normally when you huddle, you make a play, and then you turn around and you walk backwards 10 yards. That's kind of how it goes. And it's like, so getting them to stop doing that was one thing, and now it's on the opposite end. We worked, the last 2 weeks especially, this week specifically, we worked on a 4-minute offense so they get comfortable with the timing of it. And, we still, if you watch, it's meant to be a sugar huddle where you break with about 10 seconds and you sprint to the line of scrimmage and you snap it. We still want the defense to be uncomfortable with our tempo. It's just we're trying to do a job, and a good pitcher always has a changeup. You have to have that in there, and so our guys being able to execute that is good for us. But it is, and they're not the only ones getting antsy. I don't like to do anything slow. Like the sun doesn't get up fast enough for me, and so. For me, that's kind of tough. And I know for Coach Huber, it's really hard because every time I talk to him about we got to choose some clock, he's just, oh, God. But last night we did what we needed to do, and the offensive line took care of it for us, and so it was a good win.
3 rapid-fire questions will get you guys to film. Coach Olson, the wing tee has been something that Brookings has run for years and years and years, and they kind of shied away from that, at least last night. What can you tell me about that? Just kind of what you're seeing from the offense.
Well, it's a version of it yet, but there's the reads are pretty much easy. You watch the guards, you follow the H-back, and it leads to the football. There's supposed to be a counter in there, play action off that. They never ran a counter last night.
Yeah, they didn't really.
I guess I was used to the running backs, inward.
Like right. Yep. But the action up front is still similar and the same. Similar and the same. It's still the same.
Similar and the same are also the same.
Yeah, right.
So
very similar words. Right. It's just a lot. Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
They're alike.
Yeah,
one would
just
say.
a different formation. That's what it is. So anyway, going forward, it was just the same keys, and it was. I don't want to say it was predictable, but if you do what you need to do in the linebacking core and get you guys in the right spot, they're gonna be able to fly, free. And we held them to under 60 yards of rushing, which. It says a lot.
And those two guys, and Tommy too. We've got 3 senior inside backers. When you came to practice this week, especially because they do run so many guards, the left and the right call, as soon as they see a guard pull, they're calling right or left, getting the defense there. That was happening quickly, diagnosing quickly this week. And so that's the same thing. That's those guys taking ownership over it. There's not us having to, crack the whip all the time, so to speak.
And Coach Hale's going to want to break it down in full detail, but I want to ask the head coach about this as well. Special teams played really well. Matthew Sheldon is just punishing footballs, and he had one down at the 1, at the 9, and even somewhere around the 20 or so. But there's a lot of great field position. Battle was one last night.
I mean, but we take a lot of pride in our special teams, and Coach Hale is a big part of that. I mean, and it's really good for us because when our guys go to work, like we tell our guys I don't say it in front of Coach Hale because I don't want him to feel too good about himself. But
gotta keep him down.
Yeah, but when it's just those specialists, I mean, he's the standard. So it's real easy for us to say, guys, this is like when he says this is the way to do it, you do it that way because he's the best one we've had here. So you better darn well do it that way. And it's not just the specialists that are doing the kicking. And I mean, it was a great night for that. But it's also just the execution and the way, like Coach Hale says all the time, operation wins 100% of the time. It's the way they operate and how they execute what they're doing out there, whether it's a cover or it's putting the ball through the uprights, whatever it is. We take a lot of pride in the way guys execute on special teams, and then we work on it. And so it's from a coaching point of view, when you can get that kind of stuff to validate the work you put in, it doesn't get any better than that.
I doubt it's the case, but I like to imagine that, Hale, like when you're go to your kids' like classroom or something, they want to show you everything, right? Like, this is where I put my lunch. This is where I put my stuff.
Yeah.
I like he's back in his old SDSU stadium. Like, this is where I did this.
It was exact.
There was a bit of that going on.
I was going to say, it's the exact same.
There was a bit of that going on.
This one time over here. Yeah, I imagine that. All right, coaches T. Each of you just talk about the other end of what you're in charge of. So I'll start with what you're expecting offensively.
Much of the same. I mean, they came up from the same kind of mold. A lot of physical, run the football, and then get ready for the changeup. With the counter, and then also with the play action and get the ball in the air. I mean, it's gonna be a similar scheme, and we just got to go in there and just out physical them and just make sure our eyes are right. That's been our mantra. It's like eyes right. Feet right as far as position and alignment, and then mind right and just go.
All right, sounds good. And then from the defense.
So in that sense, it's going to be much different from what we saw with Brookings. T will run an even front, and where Brookings would drop 7 or 8 most of the time, and you'd see this huge shell of a defense behind a front. With T, everything is going to be up in our face, and there will be a lot of times with our formations, they won't have anybody deep. The defense will be completely flat. And so we're going to have to win one-on-one battles in those situations, and we have to be more physical. And so from that point of view, I mean, last week or against Brookings, you see us run the ball because they're presenting a 5-man box, and until they change that, we're going to keep running on it. T is going to be different than that. We're going to have to be able to run the football, against their will and against because they're going to commit more people to run, especially what they saw last night. So we've got to make sure that we can take advantage in the perimeter. And our guys out wide are licking their chops right now because they're excited to see what the game plan is going to be.
All right, coaches, congratulations on a big victory last night. Get to film, and we'll talk to you midweek practice.
All right, sounds good,
Thanks, Bryce.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, and here on the Coach's Corner.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explore CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's 2 best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfast and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either Hotel Direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, 2 great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including weekend maintenance technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661-9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
Ever try to fit a giant cactus into a box? No? Well, at the UPS store, we've seen it all. Okay, maybe not a cactus, but we've seen a lot, so don't worry. You don't have to be a packing genius. Let the associates at the UPS store handle it. From awkward size objects to important documents, we'll pack it perfectly, ship it safely, and give you peace of mind you need. Whether it's fragile, oversized, well, or just plain weird, bring it to us, and we'll take care of the rest. The UPS store in Yankton and Vermilion, because sometimes packing is harder than it looks.
All right, welcome back here to the Coach's Corner. We continue talking Yankton Bucks football. Coach Terry Huber, Coach Brady Hale in the studio. Coaches, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Right, obviously it goes without saying, but a big victory last night. And congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
And not only for 11AA, but for ESD, and just, you know, it's nice to beat Brookings.
Yes.
So it's always at Brookings. So that's always a nice caveat there. So, Coach Hale, start with some special teams. There's a lot to talk about there. I just mentioned it to Muth quickly, but I want you to break it down. Obviously, the special teams. Matthew Sheldon is punishing footballs everywhere, and gets it down at the 1, at the 9. I think they had another one inside the 20.
Yep.
And the field position battle, not just him, but the coverage team as well, but just excellent.
Yeah, I would completely agree with that. And like we kind of talked about a little bit yesterday, Matthew has a ton of responsibilities every Friday night. And the thing that's special about him is he treats every snap like, you know, the one that's going to make the difference in the game. So, and punting is no different. You know, he would be a kid who would have every reason to not be our punter, but he wants to do it.
Yep.
And that means a lot. And it's a very good feeling to have him back there because we trust him. He's obviously seen Yankton football through a lot of different years here, and he knows what it means to everybody. So he takes it very serious, and he did a great job. And like to shout out the coverage team too. They did a nice job downing those punts inside the 10. So just really proud of him. And like you said, it's a huge advantage for us when we can pin him deep.
Kevin Ortiz, perfect on the season from field goals. And 1 for 1. We're not going to count the one that got flagged.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, but finally a field goal attempted. I think it was 31 yards last night. Didn't talk about that.
Yeah, Kevin did a great job. I mean, that's a big play for us because it gives him some confidence, hopefully going forward. And we were talking about it as coaches. It can maybe extend our scoring zone just that much farther where you feel comfortable, hey, we got points here. But yeah, Kevin's done a great job, and he's just a rock solid guy where he just shows up and does his job. And I was half expecting him to run into the end zone and do a soccer celebration or something, but no, he did a nice job.
Yeah,
I know.
Slide
but
on
yeah,
the knees in
I
there,
thought overall the unit was great. Kale Gary snaps the ball. It feels like a long distant memory where we were even worried about his snaps. I mean, he's
just week 1, right?
Yeah, just week 1. He's been solid ever since. So those guys did a great job. And then Tate has to hold for righties and lefties throughout the week, which is a difficult thing. And he really does a great job. So just a shout out to all those guys. It was very awesome.
Yeah, if he didn't kick for us, I'd say ban lefties.
Yeah.
You know,
Ban lefties?
It looks weird. Hey, lefties are weird, man. I just offended so many people.
Yeah.
No, but it's done an excellent job. Leon Villanueva has also done a really nice job on kickoffs. And then especially that coverage team as well.
Yeah, I thought our kickoff team's had a couple weeks in a row here where it's been pretty solid. Liam's done a nice job when he executes to his potential. There's nothing wrong with what he's outputting out there. He does a great job. We ask him to kick it squib. We ask him to kick it deep left, and he's capable of doing that every time. And our coverage team, those guys just fly around like their hair's on fire. Some of those kids, I love watching them play football. I know Ivan Hirschman comes to mind last night, made a nice play, and then I believe Jolton almost landed on a fumble.
Yeah.
That was a huge play. Some of those guys, I wouldn't want to try to block them. That's all I got to say.
And Coach Huber last night rushing attack just really couldn't get it going. Just struggled
tough,
a little bit.
Tough night for us.
No, but it was a great rushing attack.
Yeah.
Obviously, it starts with Evan Sirk there, and I don't know if I think it was mentioned to you in there, but we were on Record Watch last night.
Yeah, I kind of heard wind of that. I guess I have never actually looked at what the record was, but somebody said it's over
222, 1997. Scott Nedved.
Scott Nedved's got it. Yeah, so and I don't. That's a tough one to get, especially with our offense. Being a spread offense, multiple formations, it is tough to get those yards. But Sirk,
I know you're in cahoots with Nedved. You were like, we gotta pull you a Sirk.
We'll back him off a little bit. No, Sirk was a monster last night. I think he finished 180 some yards and 29, 30 attempts probably, something like that, and
29 carries, 185.
Yeah, that's just insane. I love those numbers. Being an O-lineman and a guy who loves the front seven. But the thing with us is we came into this week and all I told the guys is we're going to take what they give us, and they didn't adjust to the run game at all. They left 5 in the box, plugged a backer every now and then to make it 6, and I'm going to take our front 5 and crawl at H-back. I'm taking that every time against them, and they made the most of it. It was so much fun watching it. I know some people were probably like, oh, this isn't as as fun. The ball's not flying around. To me, I haven't had this much fun in a while. So
I love running. I love watching a running back work and gaps get opened up by offensive line. It's a good time.
And the best part is, he's hitting huge holes, and then if he's getting touched at 6 yards maybe, and then he's breaking 3 tackles to get another 7, 8, 9 yards, maybe another 40. Depends on the run. Yeah, and
the muscle.
And I think people really underestimate just how strong that kid is. He's a very impressive running back.
And then change of pace. It throws me off every time. So Matthew Sheldon will get it.
Yeah.
And he'll also get 4 or 5 yards.
Yep.
Excellent running back in his own right, but change of pace. It just seems like it slows down, but the power.
Power is unreal.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that a little bit with coaches of, I would not want to try to tackle him, and when you see him running at you, it's a different kind of feeling. It's an unnerving feeling. So if I'm a linebacker having to tackle him, I'm hoping my buddies are coming with to help me, because he's not a one. You're not getting him down with one guy. He has the speed, and that's the beautiful part about it too, because they have to worry about it. We've seen this earlier in the season. Shelley's got that speed, but it's fun watching him get in there. He sorts it out. He trusts his blockers, and then he just hits it, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
And then Jason Lachik also got in there last night. Some excellent carries. You want to see him get more and more reps. You never know when you're going to need more and more from him later on in the season.
Absolutely. He has a lot of athletic skills and ones that we can definitely use. For him to get these reps, big-time games is very important for him. Takes a little more of that pressure of coming in if something does happen serious. It takes a lot of that pressure off, knowing that he's been in there and he's been capable of running this offense just like Sirk and Shelley are. And to have a third back that can spell in there, especially with Cirk getting a lot of touches, Shelley going both ways and on special teams, it's very important to have a guy who we can rotate in with those front two.
Easton Nelson last night, not called on to pass a lot,
Yep.
but he managed
Mm-hmm.
and he managed the offense
Yes.
and brought him up and down the field and did exactly what you'd want him to do.
Yes,
I'm
100
assuming from my end.
Yep, 100%. He did a great job last night. He pulled it when he needed to. He was giving good handoffs through the jailbreaks and bubbles whenever we needed to. It was a kind of a managing night for him, and he did just that. He was a great leader out there, and obviously, I think everybody in the state, probably the tri-state area, knows we're an up-tempo team, and he's the first guy. Him and Mark Cottle, our center, they have to be the guys that push that tempo. And I thought last night that was phenomenal. That first drive, I think it was 10 or 11 plays in 2 minutes, and we marched at 74 yards. Like we were flying down there, and to see those guys buying in and really understanding that mental clock's got to be going. You got to know we got to get this ball off under 7 seconds is kind of our goal in between plays. And so if we're getting that ball off in that time, then we're pushing that defense a lot harder than they're ever used to being pushed. And Nelly did a great job last night with that.
Hale wasn't the only one catching strays last segment. You actually were too. So we were talking about how this offense has been up tempo since I've gotten here, and that was 17, 18. And how I like to imagine that because you look at the offense and when they're trying to slow down and shoot clock, they kind of have that look of like, what do I do with my hands? What do I do? And they're talking about how on the sideline you struggle with that sometimes too.
I 100% struggle with it, and that's the one thing actually that I think we're going to take away from this. We're always looking for improvements. Like the guys know I'm never satisfied. That's one thing I want to take away from this is, we did a good job of taking time off the clock. That first 4-minute offense that we went into, we took almost 4 minutes off the clock, and that's what we want to do. However, I talked to him and I said, I'm kind of tired of not scoring at the end of these 4-minute drives. And so when we did march that one down after, I think it was after the fumble recovery, and took time off the clock and got that Kevin field goal, that was big points for us. And to me, that was starting to edge our way up, and we were starting to get better and better at slowing it down. But yeah, the guys, I think they know. I'm harping at them all the time. How fast can we go? So when I tell them to slow down, I think they're both like, we're all just like, this feels wrong. Like this doesn't feel right. So just being able to find that, that comfort level, that balance, it's something that we're going to improve on as an offense. And I hope the guys are. I guess I don't hope. I know their understanding of why we're doing these things. So.
When I give a nickname to a player, I expect the coaching staff to keep that going at practice.
Yeah.
Like also goes for plays. I officially did rename the power formation at the goal line to the Buck Truck.
I like
that
it.
happened last night. So the Buck Truck. So
yes.
I want all of them changed.
All of them changed on the play sheet. Yeah,
get it all changed.
I like that. The nice thing about our goal line formation is that's kind of a strap it up kind of formation, and our guys embody that. Those front five last night, I thought they got to be sore today because they had a heck of a game. They were making holes. I know Sir came off and he's like, man, this hole on whether it was play 4, play 8, play 36, it doesn't matter what play it was. He's like, these holes are huge, and that's massive credits to our O-line. They had a heck of a week. They put in a lot of work this week, especially in the mental aspect, knowing exactly which linebackers they need to be going to, communicating double teams. So I thought right to left, tackle to tackle, we did a great job last night on the O-line.
Oh yeah, the Yankton Moving Company.
Absolutely.
Does it again. They're gonna have a handful next week though.
Yes, it's gonna be a tough one with T. We always know they're physical and they're gonna pack that box in. They're gonna be sending blitzes, and I think our guys they're gonna have to work their butts off and be ready for it.
Special teams against T, Coach Hale, is there anything unique, or is it just kind of do your job kind of situation?
Yeah, a little bit of both. He does some things with their kickoff return team. I know in the past they've run called the cross middle return. They've return one for a touchdown on us, and I'm sure they got a couple on film. So
and then we returned one too.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah.
Yep, you remember that?
Who was that? Was that Goebel?
That was Goebel.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
but yeah, I mean they're solid. They're not a good program without some sort of an emphasis on their special teams. So we'll obviously take a look at it. It depends on what kind of kickers and punters I think they have, what they do scheme wise. So I think our guys are ready for that challenge, but it'll take a good week of practice for sure.
All right. Well, coaches, congratulations, a big victory. Enjoy Hobo Days. I'm sorry, you're going to Brookings, right?
Yes, I am.
All right, well, enjoy that. And enjoy
Big
your
welcome
weekend.
home for the Brady Hill.
I wasn't doing it because of that. I was actually genuinely saying, hey, have a good time. But over here, he's the one doing it, not me. That's your enemy right there, not me. No, but congratulations. Go to Phil. All right, thanks,
enemies close.
Thank you.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise, and peak flu season is almost here. Save time and get the updated COVID-19 vaccine and your flu shot at the same time at Hy-Vee. Schedule your updated COVID-19 vaccine and flu shot online today, or just stop by any Hy-Vee pharmacy whenever it's convenient for you. No appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, earn a 20-cent fuel saver. Your Hy-Vee pharmacy is here to help you and your family stay healthy. Some restrictions apply.
Sports injuries can be the result of competitive activities, but can also happen by just participating in leisure activities too. If you're experiencing pain as the result of your chosen activity, consider chiropractic care. I'm Dr. Mackenzie Erlinson with First Chiropractic Centers. We have experienced chiropractors that work with sports injuries every day. Our treatment options are aimed to minimize pain, reduce recovery time, and reduce risk of future injuries. Visit First Chiropractic Centers, making life better, one adjustment at a time.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors, free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
Pizza Ranch is all about the cookie. This is Mike from Yankton Pizza Ranch. Get ready for our famous family-sized chocolate chip cookie filled with chewy, gooey, chocolatey goodness. And right now, you can feed your group for just $20. Grab our online pizza deal, 2 single-topping medium pizzas, a small cheesy ranch sticks, and a small cactus bread, all for $20. Simply go to pizzaranch.com to order now.
Whoa, that's good.
Today's world is changing and you need your general liability plan to change along with it. If you're a business owner, give me, Skylar Sherman with Missouri River Associates a call and let's check your policies. Since you're busy running the business, I'll do all the legwork, so feel free to call, email, or stop down 124 Walnut Street in Yankton.
Are you new to Medicare or turning 65 soon? Have you met IRMA? Who's IRMA? IRMA is an additional Medicare tax that comes into play based on your tax filing income. Let's chat today to see if you'll be meeting IRMA in your Medicare future. Missouri River Associates.
All right, welcome back here to the KYNT Studios, the Coach's Corner Show, powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Let's start talking Yankton Bucks JV football. Coach Dan Schwach in the studio. Coach, good morning.
Morning, Bryce.
All right, another big victory for the JV squad, 49-0 over Norfolk on Monday. 7-0 on the season, and Coach, no pressure, but there's one game left, and I would like to see an 8-0.
We'll
I'm sure you would do.
Hopefully, yeah, we'll do all the. Hopefully, we've done all the things right leading up in practice last week. Our guys did a really good job scouting for being the scout team for Brookings, and that just kind of, I think, the win on Monday kind of propelled them, got them pretty physical throughout the week, so set us up for a good physical game last night. But yeah, last road game of the season, so last time for trying to get dealing with pizza and ordering everything for the guys. We had a great showing of fans down there. I mean, it just always impresses me that our section is bigger than the home teams. And hopefully, yeah, it gave them something to cheer about offensively. I mean, I'm a broken record at this point. I mean, it's
who didn't score?
I mean, yeah, Jace Sedlacek, over 100 yards and a rushing touchdown, as he usually gets. Tegan on the ground got 54 yards. Tegan LaCroix then passed for over 300 yards. I think 333, a couple touchdowns, and did have his first interception, I think Coach Beacom kind of jinxed him before the game, saying, "Do you realize that you haven't thrown an interception in quite a while?" Ivan Hirschman kind of lit up the stat sheet this week. On the offensive end with the 42-yard touchdown from Teagan, he had 150 yards receiving, and we checked. Those are the real stats. Abe O'Brien with his typical long touchdown catch, 3 catches for 144 yards. So, yeah, I mean, offensively was a good day. Line held up well. We're able to move the ball kind of at will. Tough physical game, and they did a good job.
And then talk a little bit more about defense. Just something that, I mean, offense has had such a great season, but this defense, I've seen multiple shutouts.
Yeah.
I think anyway, right? At least really close to them.
Yeah.
Low scoring games, I guess.
That's usually the goal. This was by far the most physical we've seen them play. And like I said, that carried through the week. I mean, I think by the end of the game, you could just tell Norfolk was getting up a little slower. We had a fun return of Chase Platt from injury, and boy, we've missed him. And he just came out absolutely raring to go. I mean, 8 tackles. It could have been more, and 3 sacks. He was just blitzing and triggering and scraping. I mean, he was just awesome. I mean, that was one of the better defensive linebacker performances I've seen at the JV level. Jolton Remnant's Han, 7 tackles. He's just been going crazy. Brennan Gilmore had 5 tackles and picked up a nice fumble. I think that Chase forced, and Brennan Gilmore ran in a 60-yard fumble return for a touchdown. And then on the line, the defensive line, we have a defensive line interception return for a touchdown alert with Logan Burnt, our nose tackle, catching a Chase Platt deflection and somehow spinning and getting out of the mess and got a 35-yard interception return for a touchdown. And fortunately, we had Pauline Rhodes there, one of our super fans and amazing photographer, got some pretty cool documentation of it that I'm sure Logan's going to enjoy for future years. So, and then I forgot to mention, too, on the D-line, because we like sacks, and we're hopefully starting to get a few more now. Jake Bivens had a good edge, and he's been learning that defensive end position really well since we brought him down from safety, which we've had pretty good luck with here in the last few years, including last night. So I'm sure Coach Olson discussed that already.
Yeah, excited about it, that's for sure. And you have, like we mentioned, to open this up, Coach, 1 game left on the season. Mm-hmm. It's hosting Watertown.
Yep.
And looking for that 8-0.
That's, we won't need any extra motivation to beat Watertown, I guess. So
that's like your championship for the JV season, right? Undefeated, try to get the undefeated record.
Well, be kind of fun. Coach Decker and I were 7-1 last year, so let's just say Coach Decker might be one of the first text messages.
He's holding you back.
What
was happening. He was holding you back. Joking.
Oh.
Decker, I'm joking.
Yep.
But no, looking forward to it. And Watertown, I know that. What can you tell me about Watertown's program? Just class ESG?
Yeah, so they're going to be really like the run. I mean, it seems like they always have big guys that come out of nowhere at every level. So, just be physical up front, fight the run off, and they do like some screens and just play our style of football, physical and aggressive. But
beautiful. Did you get your pizza?
Got the pizza, feeling good. It's breakfast and lunch for the day.
You heading to film?
Heading to film, yep. And then King of the Hill 7-on-7 last week of youth football. Yep.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, good luck on all of it, and enjoy your weekend. I'm sure a lot of family stuff. Ready to go?
Yep. And go Yotes.
Yes.
Let's get a big D-Days win. Yep.
Absolutely. All right. Appreciate it, Coach.
Yep. Thanks, Bryce.
All right. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explore CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Investing in your home is easier and more fun when you have local choices. This is Cody Miles, owner of Upper Midwest Garage Door. We offer a wide variety of American-made, unique Clopay garage doors. Free in-home consultations, a digital preview of the new garage doors on your home, and the expert small-town service you deserve. Get started today with your local independent Clopay dealer, Upper Midwest Garage Door. Give us a call, stop by, or learn more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com.
I am Juan Francisco Duarte, and basketball allows me to show my adventurous spirit. Right after graduating Mount Marty, I was selected to be part of the national basketball team for Colombia. Here I think is a great opportunity for me to expand, grow, and also help others to adventure in their journey.
Show your spirit at Mount Marty University and schedule a tour today at showyourspiritmmu.com.
All right, welcome back here to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig in the studios here at KYNT, the Coach's Corner show, powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Be enjoying the studio, Coach Jason and Blake Savvy. Coaches, good morning.
Morning.
All right. Hey, big D days. You guys going up to Vermilion? Over to Vermilion?
Still in the air. I don't know. There's a lot. I mean, it's kind of a quiet weekend, and there's a lot going on at the same time as far as college football slate. So we'll see.
Yeah, a big week for sure, but a big victory last night for the Bucks. And I want to talk a little bit about varsity with you guys. And Coach Blake Savvy, we'll start with you. The secondary, I talked to Olson about it, but I talked to you. Just, they've grown so well together this season. Entering, and it wasn't a concern, obviously, enter the season, at least from our standpoint, but all of the talk about hanging the hat on the defense and stuff. But if you were looking at experience of playing together, that secondary was kind of the question, right? But they've really grown together, and they've played, played some solid football.
Yeah, and actually, pregame, that's the exact talk we had. We said, over the last 3 weeks, we've continued to take steps forward each week. We were really excited about last night. Just we knew that we were going to do what was necessary to make Brookings kind of put the ball in the air, and then we were excited about that. And I think one thing that maybe goes unnoticed but is a lot of credit to our secondary is we were in a heavy package a lot of the night, which means we're actually taking out a defensive back and putting in a linebacker. So they're really, we're down a guy in the secondary, and they covered super well. We're going to give a lot of credit to Kale Hazelhorse last night. He was flying around, made up for some coverages that, he just was kind of all over, filling the alley, making tackles, flying around, knocking the ball out of the air. Got a pick at the end, which was good for him.
Yeah, top of my head, it's kind of hard for me to remember which one, but there were some plays last night that were actually more impressive than the interception from him.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Forced a fumble, came down again, and filled the run a few times. That's the game I think a lot of us and him, we all knew that he could play, and it was just really fun to see him go play it.
Yeah, and then obviously you have Bodie Thurman in there. Carson Ness got an interception last night, and you just name them. Miles Drossman's done really well this season.
Yeah.
And you can just really name anyone on the roster.
Yes,
secondary.
As a unit, they've just done a great job playing together and covering as a unit again, which is that makes all the difference. So they had a great game last night. Really proud of them.
Coach Jason Savvy, Evan Cirque did okay last night.
Yeah,
185 yards.
Yeah,
409 carries or 29.
29 carries. Yeah, he was a little Iron Man, and that's Evan. He is. He's just a little workhorse, and it's fun watching him zip and zag out there on the field when he gets the ball. He's tough enough, but he's small enough where he can kind of hide behind that line, and he can take a little crease and he can make big gains out of it, which is exactly what he did last night. Our line did a great job, obviously, of opening up some holes for him, and he took advantage of it. And He proves, I think we were talking about how I think teams underestimate how tough he is to bring down. I mean, he's quick, yes, but you better get him wrapped up because he's going to keep those legs going and he's going to keep turning and get as many yards as he can after contact.
Yeah, during it last night? We were on record watch.
Yeah, not till after, actually, and I was trying to figure out exactly how many carries he had and where he was at yardage wise, and yeah, it was impressive. So
I think Huber and Scott Nedved are conspiring together to
Right.
keep the record book. Say Nedved.
yeah, yeah, I knew Scott probably had the record, but yeah, I thought Cirque had to be somewhat close.
Absolutely. All right, 9th grade football. Yankton fell to Watertown Thursday, 35-14. That was at Crane. And we'll start with Coach Blake Savvy. What can you tell us?
I think if we look at it kind of in parts of a game, end of the half there, it was 14-6 with an opportunity to stop Watertown going into the half. And credit to them and their scheme and just some players that had a really good running back, tough to take down. And they just stuck with him. They pounded the rock, and we just had a tough time. I talked to him at halftime. I thought we were getting enough contact at or behind the line of scrimmage. We just were not able to wrap up and take advantage of it with kind of a pursuit of our defense. So, that's something going into the last week here, I think, really learning the importance of after that first contact, getting a bunch of bodies and hats to the ball and really, tackling them as a team and pursuing to the ball. But that being said, I think, a guy that has been at the top of the list for tackles all season and still played a great game Thursday was Jackson Reichen. We put him down at end, probably the third week of the season, and he's done a really nice job taking care of a lot of our run fits up front. So, if the ball goes to his side, we feel really comfortable about, him doing a good job, whether that's squeezing it down, forcing it back inside, or making the play himself. He did a good job. And then Evan Jackman, I thought that, there's a few times in there where we talked to him a lot about getting downhill, making a play as a linebacker, scraping across. And there was a few that he did sneak in there and was able to get the running back down behind the line of scrimmage. But overall, their power scheme, it just was a little too much for our defense, and we just had a tough time stopping the chains and getting their running back down and off the field.
I know there's been a couple games this season you'd want back, but I'm talking as a collective. Some players more than others. That's how it goes. But as a collective, is this team, has it grown the way you'd want them to from when you first started working with them in the beginning of the season to where they're at right now?
Yeah, I think that's always kind of the project of freshman football, right, is implementing, Buck football program philosophies and, how do we want them to play.
Building blocks, kind of.
Yeah, and I do think, week to week, we've maybe taken 2 steps forward, a step back, but we have progressed throughout the season. And they've got a lot of pieces in this group that, they have the potential to continue to grow and be a very good football team when they're in that, sophomore, junior, senior role and they get to kind of mix with some other grades. I do think that they have continued to figure some things out and learn a lot of things that are going to really help them in the next 2-3 years.
All right, Jason, offense versus Watertown.
Yeah, I was pretty happy offensively. Would have liked to have obviously put some more points on the board, which we were close to doing, and it was kind of one of those crazy games too. If you look at it, it was way closer than it looks. Their first touchdown came off a punt that just happened to hit one of our players as he was blocking down the field, and they turn around and score. Their last touchdown came with within the last minute or two of the game, where they broke away for a run and stuff. And then we had one that was should have put 6 on. Isaac Cirque made a great catch. I think his pinky toe was out of bounds before he kind of lunged for the pylon. And then we just stopped ourselves by not being able to punch it in. So we could have put another one up there too. But if you look at overall, we ran the ball a little bit better, 78 yards on the ground. Plus, Jackson Cooter did a great job spreading the ball around offensively in the air. He had 233 yards and 2 touchdowns passing to 5 different receivers. 88 yards, 66, 37, 30. I mean, so that's good to see. The line protected a lot better. That's one thing that we've really been concerned about, because last week Jackson took quite a pounding at quarterback, and they did a much better job of protecting him. And it shows in the stats what happens when he gets protection. He's going to find guys, and our receivers are good enough where they're going to get open in their routes, and we can get them the ball. So I was pleased to see that.
Is it too early to start demanding coaches' challenges for 9th grade?
Ooh.
Slow it down. Let me see the pylon cam.
That's right.
Yep.
All right. And then kind of same question to you, Coach, about the development of these 9th grade offensive players from beginning of the season. There's one game left, so it's time to start looking at them as a whole.
Yeah. Yeah, and same thing. Blake already said it, that, we see those steps that they take each week. And sometimes, we might take steps back, but, we try to correct those and point them out and fix them during, practice. And coming into the game, though, I think these guys are getting a much better grasp on, again, the offensive philosophy and execution of the plays on offense, and just the importance of all the little things of running good routes and taking care of the ball, and even Jackson in the quarterback, his movement back there as a quarterback and getting his reads, all that, I think has gotten better and better as the season's gone on. So hoping to put it all together one last time for our last game next week, which is crazy to think that already, but it is.
At Sioux City East. That'll be on Thursday. Can you tell me about Sioux City East?
They're always a tough team.
I love, by the way, again, we talk about it every week, that they're like out of state.
Right.
Yeah. They're always a tough team, and usually it's a really good battle between the two of us. So it's a fun rivalry, and it's always, I think, I'm not sure if it's their last game, but it's close to it. And for that always being our last game, it's a fun one to end on.
You're going to make them wish it was their last game, right?
Right.
There you go.
That's right.
All right. Coaches, enjoy your weekend, whether you're doing D-days or not. It's still, go Yotes, of course. Right?
Yeah, 3-day weekend, too. That's nice.
And 3-day weekend, so enjoy it. And congratulations last night. Big victory.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break, come back, continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Isn't it great when things work how they should? Like the award-winning free checking from FNBO. No monthly fees, no minimums, and no overdraft fees, ever. Online, in the app, on the go, or down the street. You be you, and we'll make it easy to bank your way and manage your account. Here's to simple, flexible, and free. Here's to checking that works the way you want it to. Visit fnbo.com to learn more or stop on by. FNBO Free Checking. Member FDIC.
Hello. Here's to welcoming moments, big and small, embracing the unexpected, savoring life. At Avera, our nationally recognized health system will be right here with you, ready for anything. We listen to your goals and help you achieve them with care and coverage. We'll move you forward through sickness and health and every milestone in between. Avera, moving health forward. Learn more at avera.org/forward.
Did you ever hear that cheese is the favorite food of all mice? Well, that's just a myth. Here's the fact. Mice love all food, often eating up to 8 pounds of it in their lifetime. Mice spread disease through urine, droppings, and dander, contaminating food and surfaces like counters and floors, and that's no myth. A pest professional is your best defense against the devastation rodents, termites, roaches, and ants can cause to your home and family.
Olson Pest Technicians, 1-800-KIL-BUGS.
Are you suffering from a recent injury or chronic pain?
Come see us, Lane and Reed Sawatsky at SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab.
We offer a wide variety of techniques to meet every patient's need and preference, including adjustments, dry needling, acupuncture, cupping, and rehabilitation.
We are dedicated to providing personalized and effective treatment plans to help you perform at your highest level and feel your best.
Whether you're dealing with back pain, neck pain, or a sports injury, we've got you covered.
Go to SWATchiropracticandrehab.com to schedule an appointment.
So I switched my insurance to State Farm, and get this. I talked to an actual State Farm agent who lives in my actual town. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town gave me actual help with the coverage I needed. And get this. My actual agent in my actual town who gave me actual help actually knows my name. And get this, they actually say it's called service.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411.
Looking for the perfect pair of glasses? At Vision Care Associates, we've got you covered. Step into our showroom and discover our vast selection from timeless classics to the latest trends. With several styles to choose from, you're sure to find the perfect match for your look. Experience personalized service and expert care, whether you need help finding the right frame or adjusting your new glasses for the perfect fit.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
Are you ready to drive home your savings? For a limited time, Explorers CU is offering an incredible deal on auto loans. They'll beat your current auto loan rate by up to 2% on new and used vehicle refinances from other institutions. Choose from a variety of terms to fit your budget and lifestyle. Enjoy a fast, easy application and approval process with no application fee. Don't miss out on this fantastic opportunity to save. Visit us at explorerscu.com to learn more and apply today.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MTRC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. Bryce Ladwig here in the KYNT studios. Thanks to Pizza Ranch for providing our coaches with delicious pizza and myself. And, of course, Coach's Corner is powered by Explorers Credit Union. Wherever you want your financial journey to take you, Explorers Credit Union is here to help with the vision of financial empowerment for everyone. Discover the difference at explorerscu.com. Let's start talking Yankton Gazelles soccer for the final time this season. And in the studio, Coach Tyler Schuring. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Bryce.
Did you get your pizza?
I did get a couple slices. Thank you.
And you had to talk to Josh and Braden. I'm sorry about them.
Hey, it's comical.
Yeah. So Gazelle soccer fell in the opening round of the AA playoffs on Tuesday. That was at Crane, falling to Brandon Valley 3-0 in overtime. Coach, first 80 minutes, some really good defensive soccer from the Gazelles, and this is just from me running camera standpoint. It looks like maybe the Gazelles got a little tired there in the overtime.
It was deceptively humid. There was definitely some issues with fatigue there from both teams. But overall, that the girls played a tough 80 minutes. And another 20 minutes of overtime is another challenge there. So a lot of effort out there.
They're not all built like me, Tyler.
Exactly.
But let's just kind of talk about that matchup. The threat that Brandon Valley posed in that matchup, kind of, was that what you were expecting from them, or did they kind of change anything up? Or
they made a little bit of adjustment, holding their defense back a little bit deeper, which made it a little bit more challenging for us to get in behind them with some of our speed. They pressured the ball exceptionally well throughout the midfield, and they turned it into a very physical game, which kind of took us off our possession style. I thought at times we did really good possessing the ball. We just struggled getting the ball into the attacking third and really being dangerous, creating some goal-scoring opportunities there. I thought we did really well defensively. We had a number of blocks. We forced them to take longer shots. We took away their counter, or at least controlled their counter for the majority of the game. I thought it was a good game between two pretty evenly matched teams. Brandon Valley's got 14 seniors out there, so there's a lot of veteran play that, they kind of relied on here in the playoffs. And, we had some good seniors, but a lot of younger players out there, but the whole group, it was kind of their first time in that atmosphere. And, maybe the nerves got to us a little bit. We didn't really play our best game, but I'm not taking anything away from Brandon Valley. They played an exceptionally good game.
Yeah, Gazelles end their season 8-5-2, and now that the season's concluded, Coach, and I know that lack of a better term, the wound is still fresh, but kind of looking back at the season, a very successful Gazelle season.
Yeah, I can't say enough about the work that the players put in the offseason to put themselves in the position to have a strong season. 8 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws. We drew 2 really good teams in T and Pier, both teams that are still playing today. So we were very competitive, even with the top team in the state in Harrisburg. It was only a 1-0 game. We did a really good job this year. We had a 2-1, goal advantage. We adjusted the formation to help us get more aggressive in the attack and possession, and in turn, it helped us become a much more defensive team too. And I think relying on that veteran defensive line really helped out with that as well. Overall, an exceptional season. It stings the way it ended. I think we all really expected to be playing today, but that doesn't take away from the success that they had this year.
Talk about your seniors a little bit. Obviously, these girls come to this program, and they get to have their last senior season, and a successful one at that, and kind of talk about them and what they mean to the program.
Yeah, with all the work that they put in and the leadership that they brought this year, it was nice to send them off with a strong season. We're definitely going to miss all 6 of the girls that are graduating this year, and then a senior manager and Amy Cheddar as well. Like I said, our defensive line second half of the year was 3 starting seniors. Our holding mid was a senior in the attacking midfield, and then a senior wing as well. So we're gonna, when you look at kind of the formation that we run with 3 defenders and 1 holding mid, that's our 4 back players. So there's going to be a lot of adjustments to try to fill those players moving forward. But coming into this summer, when I told that back line, hey, we're going to move to 3 defenders, their eyes got a little bit open, jaw dropped a little bit, but they tackled that with the class and the effort that you really wanted, and they turned that 3 back into a strength for us. So overall, I just can't say enough about the seniors: Chloe Foote, Haley Luke, Tessa Gillis, Eleanor Johnson, Carly Chop, and Chloe Blom. I'll put out a lot of effort out there. And like I said, their leadership was top notch this year.
Yeah, and leadership and just the mentorship of the younger Gazelles you mentioned, they're still young. Even next year, they're still going to be young. It's just, I guess it's that's not even a problem, but really lacking the terms this morning. But a good problem to have is youth for this team. Yeah, I think while it's going to sting a little bit to lose some of those seniors. Sure. We've got a bunch of players that are going to fill in, and I think next year is going to be more of a reloading year, especially in the attack. There's going to be some rebuild on the backside, but the next 2 or 3 years and beyond, the youth program is really starting to fill out with some solid players out there too. But the next couple of years, I think there's going to be some really solid success here for Yankton soccer. We're going to continue to put in the work. We're going to continue to make a few adjustments where we need to. And I'm looking for another successful year next year. All right. Well, Coach, I've always appreciated you coming into the studio or joining us for post games or on the phone. You've always been made available to us, and we really appreciate that. And congratulations to you and the Gazelles on a very successful season.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. Everything that you guys do here, Coach's Corner, pregame, postgame, filming the game. Can't say enough about that. I also want to say congratulations to the girls tennis team. They had an exceptional state tennis tournament over the last couple of days. Can't say enough about that. I know some of the smaller sports in the school don't always get the recognition, but they all put in the work. So congratulations to them for that.
Well, absolutely, and go enjoy your weekend. And I'm sure you're going to be going to Dakota Days to celebrate Yotes, right?
Yes.
You're the worst. I'm joking. All right. Appreciate it, Tyler. And have a good weekend, all right?
Thank you, Bryce.
All right. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Traveling to Yankton for business or pleasure? Then book your stay at Yankton's 2 best hotels, the Fairfield Inn and Suites and Holiday Inn Express. Both are conveniently located to everything in Yankton. Both offer complimentary hot breakfasts and meeting rooms for business travelers. And if you want a great rate and still be able to change your reservation without a hassle, call either hotel direct. The Fairfield and Holiday Inn Express, 2 great hotel choices when visiting or arranging rooms for guests to Yankton.
At Triple Time Rudy's, not only do you get top-notch fuel to keep you on the move, but it's a destination for delicious local treats. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers. It's your community's pit stop for more than just fuel. Triple Time Rudy's supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts to Yankton's largest employers. For all your daily fill-ups and convenience needs, stop by Triple Time Rudy's at 17th and Broadway.
Do you want a job that keeps it real? At Truxedo, a real truck company, we keep it real by promoting our values of excellent service, teamwork, accountability, and innovation. Join the Truxedo team and enjoy your next career adventure. We have a variety of openings, including weekend maintenance technician 2. So don't wait. Get up, get out, and apply at realtruck.com/careers. Start your next adventure with a career at Truxedo.
¿Está buscando una casa para comprar? Me llamo Deb Speck de Vision Real Estate y puedo ayudarle a encontrar la casa perfecta. Yo sé que la barrera del idioma puede ser difícil, pero puedo facilitar el proceso. Escoja a un agente que se habla español. Envíeme un mensaje de texto 605-661-9398.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig here, and thanks for joining us here. And I am sending off a text. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig, and thanks to Pizza Ranch for providing our pizza for the coaches and myself here today. It's absolutely delicious. And let's turn our attention to Yankton Gazelles volleyball. And Gazelles fell to Brandon Valley at home on Pink Night for breast cancer awareness and fell 3 sets, 25-12, 25-11, and 25-18. And Braid Butler caught up with Coach Taylor Stacy in the post game. We'll play that for you right now.
Coach, it's an important night here for the Gazelles. It was a Gazelles strong pink out night. Doesn't end the way you want it to. 3 sets to 0. Brandon Valley takes the win tonight. But despite the Lynx handling the first 2 sets, you guys came out in set 3 and kind of washed that all away and were able to fight tough right till the very end of that final set.
Yeah, and I know with our 9-day stretch off from games, it was hard to pick it back up right away in the first set, and so I think that's what got us down. It took us a while to pick up the intensity there, and we didn't get it till the 3rd set, and at that point it was a little too late. And so the girls did a nice job though in that 3rd set to keep fighting all the way to the end, and we made it a little bit more competitive of a set there, and so I'm proud of that 3rd set.
You mentioned that 9 days of rest. It's almost a catch-22 because that's the longest stretch of the season so far. You guys haven't had a game. Usually in a 9-day stretch, you're playing 3, sometimes 4 matches. So It was a needed rest, but at the same time, maybe like you mentioned, didn't come out firing the same way when you're playing every single night. Yeah, I think that was the biggest thing. But hopefully we have another week until we play our next match, and so hopefully we can start strong then. And so we'll pick up the intensity and practice a little bit so we don't miss out. We talked about it all year, but a 2-setter system again today, as you have all season rotating in and out, and I think both of them played very well. Kayla Llewellyn ended up getting the better of the numbers in final assists. I have her at 12. But both Llewellyn and Elena Nelson are very good at setting up their teammates and getting that communication. Just talk about your 2 setters, a junior and a sophomore, so they're both on the roster for still a little while longer. Yeah, they both do a really nice job of leading our offense. They really work hard to communicate and tell our hitters what they need, but they're also receptive to our hitters and what they need. And so they do a really nice job of getting the ball
the ball up to them. Defensively, I was really proud of both of them tonight. I think that was the best defensive game they've had all season. They had lots of nice digs to get the ball back in play, and so I'm proud of them that way tonight.
And another thing that we've talked about in the past is the rotation of people in the front line for this Gazelles team. It's actually a major reason I've committed to trying to understand what it counts as a block and actually count them correctly, because of how your girls can rotate through that front line, and it seems everybody can get involved with blocks. Hopefully I'm right. If I'm wrong, somebody will tell me, but I did have 3 blocks for Olivia Demmer. If she had more, my apologies, but that was the team high. But everybody was able to play well at the net, and especially in that final set, it felt like you were starting to figure out where the attack angles were from Brandon Valley, and your team was playing very well at the net.
Yeah, we picked it up in the third set for sure at the front row. We were more confident, I think, in the third set as well. The difference we had in the third set was Jocelyn Pearson made it in the front row. Usually she's just a defensive player for us in the back row, but we changed things up, and she did a nice job. She got 2 kills in 1 set, which is impressive for not playing front row until the third set. And so she did a really nice job of coming in and kind of taking charge there. But it is really nice when we have so many eligible hitters that can find the court and contribute that way and get kills for us. And so I'm really proud of how we can spread the share a little bit. And so they're doing a really nice job up front.
Let's talk about what's next for your Gazelle squad. As you mentioned, it's another week off. You come out on October 17th. You're on the road against the Pierre Governors, that one in the state capital. What are you looking forward to in that one? A bit of a road trip for you guys. I know it's a couple hours out to Pierre.
Yeah, it'll be a long trip, but we're hoping to start off strong right away, and that's kind of what we've been working on all season. And I know these couple of our matches towards recently, we've been able to pick it up and start a strong lead right away, and so that's what we're looking for again against Pierre. Pierre has always been really scrappy. They've been able to pick things up and throw things at us that we maybe don't expect, and so we just have to be ready for that and be ready to keep playing until the whistle. And so we'll work on that during practice for this week and hopefully be able to bring the intensity right away.
All right, big thank you, head coach Taylor Stacy, for taking time to talk to us. Good luck next week in Pierre, and I believe 21st when you return home against Beersford, we'll be here for that as well.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, thanks to Braden Butler and Coach Taylor Stacy for doing the post-game interview and letting us use that here for the Coach's Corner. Let's turn our attention to, well, obviously, as you just heard, Gazelles travel to Pierre on Thursday, and right now they are in 18th or 19th. I wrote down, my bad. AA standings, just on the outside of the SODAC, and we're going to need a win or two to get into that top 16 for the SODAC 16 playoffs as the season is winding down. Let's turn our attention to Yankton Bucks golf. Yankton competed and concluded their season at the AA state tournament in Watertown this week, and I have a long interview with Coach Brett Syme on the Pizza Ranch phone line that I conducted yesterday.
All right, let's turn our attention to Yankton Bucks golf for the final time this season, and this time on the Pizza Ranch phone line, Coach Brett Syme, recording this on Friday. Coach, thanks for joining us.
You bet, not a problem. Thanks for letting me do it so I can go watch my kid running a cross-country tournament on Saturday.
Family is very, very important. So, Yankton in the state tournament in Watertown finished kind of near the middle of the pack. A split score of 318 day 1, 316 day 2 for a 634 overall. Finished 11th overall out of the teams. Coach, kind of opening thoughts on your team's performance.
Well, going into the tournament, talking with the boys and kind of just, setting a goal for going into the state tournament. Our guys were really trying to put their eyes on 6th place, trying to bring home some hardware for their school. We knew we were going to have to play really well to do that, but, we thought if we did play really well, we would have a chance to maybe fight for that. But just didn't go up there and quite play well enough to get to that spot. We knew that we'd probably have to play better than our average, and we played close to our average. I think our team average for the year was 316.5, so 318, 316 right there was pretty good. But we knew we'd have to be probably a little lower than that to get there. It was looking really good the first day for a while. But, we talk about it all year long that, we just have too many holes where we take a double bogey or worse and then end up having to count those. And that kind of bit us again during the state tournament. We played, like I said, pretty much right around our average. I think some of the kids kind of saw that maybe we were getting a little further behind after the first day, but we really weren't that far behind. We were only, I think, 11 shots out of 6th place after day 1 concluded. So we had a good talk on Monday night and said, hey, we just got to go out and we got to try to be a little bit aggressive. We got a bunch of teams in between us and that 6th place that you want. So, try and be aggressive, but be smart about it. And the kids went out, and again, it started looking pretty good on day 2, and then some of those things just kind of crept back in there. The double bogeys, the 3 putts, things like that. But yeah, I was pretty pleased with the way some of our kids played. We had some good individual efforts each day, and when it comes right down to it, if we'd have shot 2 shots better, all of a sudden we're in 9th alone, instead of 1 shot behind Spearfish and Sioux Falls Jefferson, who tied for 9th. So we could have been very easily in the top half, but, it just didn't happen. But I was proud of the guys for going out and working hard. We improved our score on the 2nd day, so that was always a good thing. Not every team did that. But, some good individual efforts, like I said. Parker Riley went out and led us on the first day, shoots 3 over 75, had a great first day. Easton Velick shot 77. And then Kai Cody and Riker Larson shot 84, to give us our score of 318. So, that was a good effort right out of the chute. I mean, it put us in 12th place. It didn't totally take us out of it, but, it did put us in a position where we did have to maybe try to be a little bit more aggressive and try and get a few shots back day 2. But 2nd day, we had a couple other guys lead us. Braden Birkland, who's played really well for us this year as an 8th grader, shot 76. Kai Cody shot 77. And Easton Bellick shot 80. And then you take one of the 83s from Parker Riley or Eli Larson, and that gives us our 316. So, we did improve by 2 shots, which was great. We just needed to improve by some more to be able to try and catch some of those teams. But like I said, some good individual efforts, but we just got to work in the future of really cleaning up some of those holes, really fighting whenever we get ourselves in trouble to get bogey instead of doubles and worse, and really cut down on the 3 putts or, sometimes even worse, 4 putts that we've had that have hurt us in the past. So, as we go forward, that's some of the things we're going to be working on. But all in all, it was a good state tournament. We would have liked to finish in the top half, but like I said, you got 2 teams that beat us by a stroke, and it's kind of crazy when you go over 2 days, you got 300 plus strokes each day, and then it comes down to 1 shot at the end that determines whether we were in the top half or the bottom half. And it just so happened that we ended up being in 11th place, but proud of the boys for going out, and they fought hard. They didn't give up. And, I give them credit for keeping in it and really trying to do the best that they could for the team.
And trying to keep this as much on Yankton as possible, of course, Coach. But I am looking at the team standings, and what an incredible performance from the top 3 teams. Of course, Watertown took the state title, but immediately followed by Pierre and Harrisburg, all 7, 6, and 5 under par collectively as a team. That's some incredible performances right there.
Well, it is. And, our boys need to take a look at that, for the future to see, what do we have to do to try to be competitive with some of those teams. And if we have aspirations to try to be, state champions, team-wise or individually, you've got to look at some of the scores those guys are shooting, and you really got to be working at trying to make your way to be able to do that, whether that's, just going out practicing a lot on your own, messing with your swing, working on your putting, or going and getting some lessons, from golf professionals around the area or whatever, playing in tournaments in the summer. But yeah, those are incredible scores, and our guys need to be aware of that. So if we, hopefully want to be competitive with those teams, that we can start trying to work towards, getting to some of those short scores that they are shooting.
All right. And Coach, as is always the case, most of the time always the case, but you're going to lose some seniors. And I want to give you a moment to talk about them.
Yeah, we got 2 seniors on the team this year, Parker Riley and Riker Larson. Parker has been a member of the team, the varsity squad, for a few years now. He's had a great career. He ended up individually placing at the state tournament last year. Didn't quite make it this year, but he has been a great asset to our team. He's a great kid. He's a smart kid, so he's going to do great things in his future, and I wish him the best of luck. Riker Larson, it's his second year on varsity. He gave us a lot of good rounds throughout last year and this year, and same with him. He's a good kid and a good student, so I wish nothing but the best for him. We're going to miss both of them next year, but with that being said, we've got a number of kids that that didn't make the state tournament team or the conference team this year that are going to be chomping at the bit to try and move up and fill their shoes, and hopefully once the season rolls around again next fall, we're going to see some of those guys that really work hard and really try and get into those spots and get us to be a little bit more competitive than we were this year.
Well, Coach, I always appreciate you joining us, and I'm glad that you can go watch the child run, but no pizza this week then for you.
That's all right. I got to thank Pizza Ranch for having that available and you guys, but yeah, no, that'll be all right. I think me and my other son will catch something somewhere.
All right. And we'll enjoy your winter, quote unquote off. And then you have a spring golf coming around the corner. So it's always going to be busy, but congratulations on an overall successful Yankton Bucks golf season. And as always, thanks for joining us, Coach.
All right. Thanks a lot, Bryce.
Thanks to Coach Brett Stein for joining me on the Pizza Ranch phone line. And let's keep moving on here. And let's talk cross country quickly. They're competing in the ESD conference meet right now in Huron. So best of luck to Yankton, in cross country. And we'll talk to Coach Kate Savvy next week. Yankton competitive dance and cheer was on Thursday, and that was in Watertown. And Yankton dance finished second, 271.75. Brandon Valley took the team title, 288.5. And then in cheer, Yankton finished at 8th, 207.5. And then the team title right there was Harrisburg, 281.5. They are going to the ESD meet in Brandon Valley on October 17th. Yankton competitive dance and cheer. All right, Gazelles tennis. Next week, we are going to have a full-on interview with Coach Ryan Haig. We'll go over all the flights for singles and doubles, but some highlights for you. They were in the state tournament in Rapid City, concluded yesterday. Yankton finished third at the state tournament as a team with a 311 score. Nora Kraske won the state title in AA Tennis Flight 1 Championship. She also took home a Flight 1 Championship in doubles with her sister Sabrina. And so a good day for the Kraskes and the Yankton Gazelles. And full results, full everything next week. Coach Ryan Haig right here on the Coach's Corner. And we'll break it down flight by flight, set by set, and hear all about the state tournament out in Rapid. But those are kind of the highlights from this weekend. Congratulations to the Yankton Gazelles' entire team and to the Kraske sisters for an excellent state title performance from both of them. You love to see it, that's for sure. And yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up the Coach's Corner here today. Big college day in the state. You have Hobo Days up in Brookings. You have D-Days in Vermilion. And, of course, go South Dakota. Right here, USDA Go Yotes for myself. And looking forward to watching that game today with the family, of course. And congratulations to the Yankton Bucks also last night. Oh, headphone went off. Congratulations to the Yankton Bucks last night. Big victory over Brookings, and you love to see that huge win up in tied for first in the AA standings right now. We'll see how that turns out the rest of the season. They have T next week, and you can catch that one on KYNT and KYNTV. 5:30 pregame, 6 o'clock or 5:30 Pre-game 6:30 kickoff on KYNT and KYNTV. And go Bucks, go Gazelles, go enjoy the rest of your weekend. This has been the Coach's Corner right here on KYNT and KYNTV.
FM 10.